What is up, YouTube? So we decided that we are going to do these daily thoughts. A couple thought processes there. Number one goal with YouTube is to get more comfortable at talking in front of a camera organically. I think I've got a really nice skill set of being able to talk on a podcast. The conversation piece, leading a conversation, and the reason we've got there is because we've had 2,000 reps of going on podcasts and having our own podcast. I went back and listened to a couple of my original podcasts, and it was pretty tough. It was not good, and I was terrible at it. It's because I had no reps, and now I want to get better at the ability to speak in front of a camera organically, share my thoughts organically. And I think doing daily thoughts and daily vlogs in that sense, which is ideally my goal with this long term, is to turn this into some Sam Stulik long term vlogs, tracking everything, doing that type, go full influencer, really sell the fuck out on you guys. But starting with these daily thoughts, just going to cover some things. This does not count as my weekly long form video where I talked about last week, where I'm going to do a long form video every single week and pick a certain topic and dive deep. These are just going to be off the cuff thoughts that I've had. And the one that I thought of today is, and I've talked about this a lot on Instagram, is letting people bully you into greatness. And this is a perfect conversation for this, because before I started YouTube, I fucking talked about doing YouTube all the time. I was like, oh yeah, it's a good idea. Will Rattel, who's been killing it on YouTube, told me a bunch of times, like, dude, you got to do it. Like, why are you not doing this? I'm like, oh yeah. And I just kept coming up with a bunch of bullshit excuses and never really started. And I never wrote down or told anybody that I'm actually going to go do it. Like, I never set that thing. I set it in my head of like, yeah, I want to go do it, but I never really set it and wrote it down on a sheet of paper of YouTube, whatever, one video a week, and never told anybody that. And what I have changed here is just telling, and I told Mark Dowdle, one of my friends who's also killing it on YouTube right now, and he started up this, is I told him, and I wrote it down on my 2024 goals, as cringe as the yearly goals thing. One thing that's very helpful for me is just writing it down, because as soon as I write something down, I solidify in my brain that I'm going to actually do that, or I'm a piece of shit. So I wrote down one video a week for 2024, and for these daily thoughts, I had this thought in the sauna of how do I get better at talking in front of the camera, and that's daily reps at it, continuing to do this. So hopefully this video is fucking terrible, and then in a year we get massive growth from it. But texted Dowdle yesterday and said, every single day I will do a daily thought video. I will continue to post that. And now, what most people do when they have a goal is they keep it in the back of their brain, or they tell somebody they know will not really push them, or they do none of those things and they just kind of like half-ass it. They say, oh, I'm gonna stop smoking, I'm going to stop drinking alcohol, I'm going to work out this year, but there's never really any set goal. There's never really anything where you put your nuts on the line and you tell somebody, or you tell the world that, hey, this is what I'm gonna go do. And this is where I really think letting people bully you into greatness is something that we have lost in our communities, in our societies, because we've gotten rid of communities. And I think that's one of the beautiful things that a community can provide for you, is you are a part of a group of like-minded people doing like-minded things, having goals that are reaching forward. And that's what I view the Yoakum Strength community as. That's what I view my friend group as. And I don't let people in the group that are not a part of that reaching. And that means, like, Dowdle runs 1,000 miles a day and is a long distance runner. Will Rattel lifts 1,000,000 fucking pounds and is way more jacked than I'll ever be. I hit fucking softballs. But every single one of us is reaching for something beyond where we currently are. And when you surround yourself with those people, and then you tell them, and that's a part of your community, and you tell them, hey, I'm going to go do something, you put your name and you put your word on the line with people that you want to respect you. You want those people to think highly of you. You want those people to value you, and you want those people to see the best side of you. So when I tell Mark and I tell Will, hey, this is what I'm going to go do, and I don't go do it, the pressure of being bullied into greatness by those two, or being looked at, and it's not even the fact that they'll call me out and say I'm soft or whatever it is. It's not even that. It's more so the peer pressure of they're going to think less of me because I told them something and then I'm not doing that. And I think if you guys really have a goal, I think telling somebody that you really, really respect, whether it's your coach, whether it's a mentor, or whether it's just a really good, if you have a really good friend group. And I think this is where a lot of people struggle, is like, you don't have a good friend. You don't have somebody that is striving. And I've definitely been in those situations before where you're not surrounded by people that telling them is going to do anything because they're not striving. Maybe it'll inspire them, but that doesn't really help you. I think telling somebody above you, telling somebody that is reaching farther than you in the current time is really going to put that pressure on you to reach and become who you want to become. And that's something that we talked about with Mark Dettel on the podcast just recently, is like, who you want to become and who you currently are two different characters, two different avatars. And when you are not there, you and this is the thing, like when I'm this person, the non-YouTube Austin, whatever it is, like whatever your goal is, when you're the non-fitness person, you have chinks in that avatar where it's like, oh, I could be that. And you just get those ideas and you have those inspirations. And I know every single one of you guys listening has felt that. It's like, oh, I could go do that. Oh, I could be happier. Oh, I could be more peaceful. Oh, I could be more productive. I have that feeling. And then if you don't capitalize on that, it's gone. But that chink, that inspiration you had in that moment, is a glimpse into the next avatar you could become. And putting that out there, once you feel that, once I had that inspiration yesterday of, I need to get better at talking in front of a camera. Once I had that inspiration, I instantly texted Mark Dettel so that I didn't lose that. It's like, okay, that is the universe. That is something telling me I need to go pursue that skill set. I got the signal, and we all get those signals throughout the day. I need to meditate more. I need to lift more, whatever it is. I need to be more fit. I need to be nicer to my person. You get those signals. And then a lot of times we get those signals, we become that person for a little bit, but we never really put it out there that that's who we want to become. And I got that signal, texted Mark, and now it's solidified of, I will do this regardless of the inspiration or not, because I already have the signal. Now I need to go become it. So long rant there. That was already 7 minutes. We'll get better at this, I promise. Long rant there, but when you have those inspirations, when you are reaching to become more than you currently are, or in a different, it doesn't even need to be more. I think we get lost in this, I'm ranting again, but we get lost in this thought process that it's always more, it's always better, when a lot of times it's less, or it's pulling back, or it's just a 180. It's just becoming a different person. Once you have that inspiration of, I want to become that with my life, or I want to do this with my life, capitalize on that by telling people around you, telling your community, telling people that you look up to, that this is who I want to become, this is what I want to do, I'm going to go do it. And if I don't, now I have that leverage. I have somebody there that's going to go bully me. So long rants, just finished up lifting, just finished up the morning session. It's snowing here, so we're in a coat and we have our wipers on, about to go grocery shopping here. But first daily thought here. We'll do one of these every single day after our lift, or maybe during the lift, or maybe sometimes it'd be quick tips, but whatever's on my head that day, we're going to share. We still got a long form content every single week, so if you guys have something that you'd like me to cover in the long form content, let me know. I think this week we might do, actually I'm not going to say, because I got a couple ideas and I'm not sure which one I want to capitalize on yet. I'm going to go with where my head is on the day of, but we'll do that on Wednesday, long form content on Wednesday. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. Subscribe. Appreciate the support on the first video. It's been really cool to see the following come over from Instagram and support here on YouTube. But we're gonna grow this page and gonna get to 10K just like we did on Instagram. And I'm just gonna keep pecking at it until we get there and be the annoying ant that I am. Boom. Keep dropping one.